New information about a bizarre case more than 40 years old involving a former Jackson City official, embezzlement, deception, and a burned body. Edward L. Cates was arrested and imprisoned for his crimes, but one mystery remains. Whose body was in Cates' burned vehicle? In this 3 on Your Side special report, Howard Ballou talks with 2 metro area coroners who are teaming up to hopefully find and identify an answer to the question.
May 28, 1983, a badly burned 1977 Honda Civic is found in a field on Bozeman Road off Highway 463 in Madison County. The body in the driver's seat was so charred it was difficult to positively identify. The license plate and other items show the vehicle belonged to 55-year-old Edward L. Cates, a former Mississippi Assistant Attorney General and Jackson City Commissioner. William Billy Noble was Madison County Sheriff at the time.
Could be foul play, could be accidental. It's hard to say at this particular time.
Nevertheless, Cates, a veteran, received a full military funeral. But that was not the end of this story. A month later, Cates was found living in an apartment in an Atlanta suburb. Officers traced him to Georgia after Cates' wife began receiving money orders from a man named Kurtz and turned them over to her attorney. Her attorney gave them to investigators. Cates was indicted by a Madison County grand jury on charges of capital murder and arson. He was also indicted in Hinds County for embezzling $233,000 from a farm cooperative he had done legal work for. Prosecutors maintain Cates faked his death to cover his involvement in the embezzlement.
What I think is he found this guy somewhere.
So who was the man found burned beyond recognition in Cates' car? It's a mystery that has endured more than 40 years.
The remains were sent to a pathology lab in Florida back in the 80s, where they did advanced studies that were available at the time, trying to identify who the gentleman was.
You may recall a series of reports I did with Rankin County Coroner David Ruth and his success, identifying a cold case Jane Doe murder victim from the 1970s using DNA technology through Othram labs in Dallas, Texas.
And that's what we were hoping to do here. I was talking to Mr. Breland about the Jane Doe success story, and I was here at his office, and he said, well, let me show you this. And he still had the remains from his 1983 case, or that was handed off to him. Yeah. And he had kept it preserved all these years in hopes of something maybe coming out of it. And I said, hey, let's just try. And I contacted Othram, and they were very excited about this because it's a very high-profile case here in Madison County.
For the first time, we are learning new information from that Florida pathology report about the injuries the victim suffered. He was a white male, determined to be 39 years old, about 5 feet 6 inches tall.
He had suffered fractures to at least his left fibula, 12th thoracic vertebra, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th left ribs, and possibly 11th right rib. Body was severely burned in the presence of accelerants. The burning probably did not cause the apparent absence of teeth. 2 ribs, the left 7th and 8th ribs, showed fresh fractures that might have occurred around the time of death or during postmortem handling.
The remains are now in the hands of pathologists at Othram Labs. Will we finally learn the identity of the John Doe homicide victim in the Ed Cates case?
Yeah, and if anybody has anything, if they've been sitting on something for all these years and just needs to, call somebody and just maybe help out, if they just got an idea who they think it may be, somebody that just stopped showing up. Yeah. We don't know. We're asking for any help that we can get at this point.
Ed Cates died in Parchment Prison in 1990 without ever revealing the name of his victim. He was 62.
No taxpayer dollars are being used in this investigation. Othram is taking donations through crowdfunding to raise the $7,500 cost of the DNA testing. If you want to donate, we've included a link in this story over on WLBT.com. And we